welcome back to my channel. I was not planning on making a video today, but it was such a nice day in San Diego and I've wanted to make this video for a while, so I figured what's a better time than now. So I'm not all glammed out, I just have my daily lipstick on like I always do, and so deal with it. Anyhow, the subject of today's video is actually what it's like to be a 40-year undergrad. Yes, I am in my 40s. I'm not 40 years old, I'm actually a little older than that, but I am an undergrad here at SDSU. Now, I want to really emphasize that I feel very fortunate that I was kind of given a second chance. I did go straight into a four-year college out of high school, and I had some stumbling blocks along the way. Long story short, I am back. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to finish a degree in music education, I will make a separate video more about that subject. This is more of what it's like being amongst the young students and also just being kind of a different person than I was and seeing all the nuances and how in some ways, since my boys are now 18 and 19 years old, it has made me a better parent and with certain aspects that I see, because I get to see more into the personalities of young people, which is really cool, and I don't think a lot of parents get that. Since young people sometimes are acting as my peers, I get more in-depth conversation about what goes on in their lives, and it makes me be more understanding as a parent. So that's one gift that I got from this that I did not expect. Now, coming back to school when you're this old is a little bit awkward, because then you're thinking, you can't help but think, you don't want to think that, oh my God, like, oh, what are they going to think? What are these people going to think? Are these people going to think I'm a loser? Or blah, blah, blah. You got to really remove anything like that from your head, because the thing is, that you are here, you are doing it. You could also be at home on the couch eating potato chips, but you're not. You're here and you're doing it. So you got to really give yourself credit for that. And I do struggle with that sometimes, because then I'm like, oh, what if, you do a lot of what ifs. You know, what if I would have finished? And then you see these young kids and they're all doing it, and you see them graduate and you're like, oh my God, that could have been me. You got to remove yourself from that, and you got to think more of why you're doing it and what the outcome is going to be. Now, a couple of things that are definitely very different is when I first went to school, 90s, it was just like you fill out a paper application, you send it off, and then you get your reply back, yay or nay, and that was it. You didn't have all these little computer nuances. And so I came in as a transfer student, and I had a lot of units, because I would take classes in automotive. I'm very diverse, as you will see from this channel, because it's going to be kind of all over the place, and I'll probably end up going with whatever's more popular. My last video was about Take Care, of all things. So as you can see, it kind of goes all over the place. But anyway, so I had all these units, and I was just like, okay, I might as well just go in one direction and get everything straightened out now. And so I went ahead, I filled out my application. I was really scared because of the fact that we had a lady come in, talk to us about that process. And I guess part of her job is to really make sure that everybody's serious about it. You don't want any flaky people wasting their time with the application. So you would have these, she kind of instilled fear in me. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to do this. What if I don't get in? Then what do I do? Because SDSU is the only place around that has the music education major. So the options are limited. So anyhow, so I just was kind of like, okay, and just being a parent and having different drama in life, it's a totally different life than when you are just a kid, like you're 18, 19 years old, you're coming out of high school, you don't have any kids, you don't have any, I'm not going to say they don't have any responsibilities, that would be very wrong of me and kind of degrading. They do have responsibilities, but it's very different. You're responsible for yourself, you're not responsible for others. So that's just a whole nother ball game when you're responsible for other people. And so, I just, it gets a little bit complicated. You do your application, and then you're like, oh God, especially I went to so many schools, I had this class and that class, they said, oh, if you leave something out, we're going to think you're fraudulent. That's what that lady said. So I'm like, oh God, I hope I remembered everything, because surprisingly, it's hard. Like, you have 15 years of schooling, and you're just like, okay, oh wait, I took a yoga class at that community college, and you got to remember everything. So I did manage to get it all together somehow. I'm dyslexic, so that was pretty difficult for me to do, but I persisted and I did it, and I got it all together, got it in. And the interesting thing about the music department, you don't have just the getting accepted to the college, you got to get accepted to SDSU itself. And then once that happens, you have to wait for the second email, which is you got accepted or denied to the music program. So I got my first email, I was like, woo, I was all happy, and then I was like, wait, uh, no, I'm not totally accepted, so I gotta wait for that second email. And the day of my audition, because you gotta go in and audition, I do not do well with academia style auditions. I freak out, my heart starts pounding, and I just, I have always had a hard time with juries, academia auditions, and it's kind of funny because people are like, well, you play in front of like hundreds of people all the time. I do. But it's a big difference between playing in front of a whole bunch of people that are probably drunk and they're not going to notice your mistakes, and playing for people that are going to know every little note you play wrong and every little nuance of your music, every little thing you're doing. It's totally different. So you immediately, like, you get scared, you feel judged, and plus they're behind a desk and they're like kind of scary looking. You're just like, oh God. And so anyways, got there, got to my audition, and it was also 9 a.m. Anyone who knows me knows these lips do not work on the saxophone that early. Just doesn't. I mean, just like, you know. And I've just always not been a morning person. So I'm just like struggling with that too. I'm like, oh my God. And then I have really bad asthma, and I had no idea how the parking situation worked at SDSU at that time. I did not have a handicap placard yet. So I was just like, oh crap, where do I park? So I parked, and I had, luckily my bari sax is on wheels. Lord knows why I chose that instrument to play, being a severe asthmatic, but it is what it is. So I rolled that bari sax in, and you know, they gave me an option of practicing. Now this is going to sound really stupid, but I was so nervous I could not go downstairs and practice. I was like, I gotta get done. It just, oh, you know. And so I went in, and I had practiced the heck out of those scales. Like, we had a bunch of scales we were supposed to do on the agenda for the audition. They kind of gave you a format. So you had scales, which I had down pat, and then you had 2 pieces of music, and they gave you like a list you could choose from. And I had my 2 pieces, and I tried to pick things I was familiar with so it would like calm my nerves down. Of course, that didn't work. And another thing, if you play saxophone and you get nervous playing saxophone, your mouth clenches and you get these little squeaking noises. So yeah, there was a, God, good Lord, I don't know how the heck they were okay with that. But yeah, so I had my squeaks, but I got through it, and I was a little bit disappointed because I worked so hard on those scales and they didn't ask for the scales, but and that also created another level of fear for me, because then I was like, oh my God, they didn't ask for my scales. I sucked so bad they didn't want to hear anymore. So I had that in my head. So you can imagine I was checking my email every day, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then finally got the happy email. So then I was like, okay. I was like, yay, I'm accepted. I was super happy. And then came the other challenges with being a college student, and not just that, being a college student that's older, because when you really notice the things like, well, back when I was younger, I could do this and this and this and this. It's true, okay? Like, I take good care of myself, but age is kicking my butt right now. You know, it's just like, oh gosh, like these kids will be like, oh, I pulled an all-nighter. I can't do that anymore. Around 30 years old, it was like, no. I remember I used to be able to drive all night. I could drive all night, no problem, and get to my destination. Lord have mercy on everybody's soul if I try to drive all night now, because I'm going to crash into somebody. It's just not going to happen. You know, it's just like, your eyes just start closing. You're like, ugh. And so, anyway, so things like that, I would be like, okay, I have to really be on task and try not to procrastinate. And I'm horrible with procrastination. Now, as far as the other students' attitude towards me, I have got to say, these are some very sweet kids. I can't speak for every college campus, but in SDSU, in the music department, the kids are wonderful. They are so sweet, and they're nothing but supportive to me. I mean, I really can't think of anyone that's a real jerk. I mean, there are people that don't like me. I don't know, but that's okay. I mean, people don't. What I finally learned, this took me forever to learn, is that not everybody's going to like you. You're going to have people that don't like you. That's a fact of life. So anyways, like, the kids have been great. The teachers are fantastic. Like, the quality of education here in the music department is just phenomenal. I'm so impressed with it. I went to Berklee College of Music out of high school, so I have been around top-notch music teachers, and these guys are just, they're great. I mean, we are really, I'm really hoping to, at some point, once I get everything cooking on this YouTube thing, I can maybe make some videos interviewing some of my really cool teachers. That would be really awesome. But we'll just see what happens for now. And I'm sorry that the lighting is kind of a little bit screwed up. I started this video and I had good lighting, but now I'm looking at the little screen and it looks like that is not the case anymore. So anyways, a few other things is, okay, so you have the whole like, okay, so kids can live on campus, they can be right there, and so if they need to practice, they need to study, boom, they're there. They don't have to, worry about that. If you know anything about San Diego is so expensive to live in. So I do stay still at my parents' house in Fallbrook, which is about 53 miles, I think I clocked it last time, 53 miles from the school. And I have several animals, so I have to be home a lot. I can't be trying to couch surf or anything. And plus, it's a little weird. Somehow I think it's creepy if I couch surf. I'm old. I shouldn't be surfing on couches of these children. I mean, they're adults, but to me, they're still children. They're the age of my children, so they're still children. So I just, that's kind of weird, so I try to avoid stuff like that. Luckily, my husband just recently got a place in San Diego, and I am planning to try to stay there a few days a week. Luckily, also, my animals, I do have my sons at home that can help out with that. And, okay, let's see. So the other thing is a lot of computer stuff. Being from an older generation that was barely, we were just kind of that generation that was just starting to learn about technology. So I kind of know, but I kind of don't know. And oh my God, that could be such a nightmare. And the most nightmarish thing I think about the whole thing is when they take something that was working great and they fix it. It's like, it wasn't broken. Don't fix it. Please, don't fix it. But they do it. And it's just like, oh my God. So anyway, so that has been a thing. You'll go on the computer, you did everything a certain way last year, then, excuse me, oh goodness. And then you realize that, oh my God, they changed it. And you're just kind of going, why'd they do that? Well, I don't know. It drives me crazy. I mean, I think the kids these days are a lot more apt to handle that, and also are a lot more apt to figure it out. A lot of times I'll be going to them yo, what's this app for? They told me to get this app, or I have to do this, or I have to do that. And they always help me, though. I gotta say, again, I cannot emphasize enough how great my fellow, students are. They're really wonderful. The other challenge, and this is not unique to me, but it seems to be more prominent, especially being in San Diego where it's expensive, is that these poor kids have to juggle a lot. I'm like, holy smokes, a lot of them are trying to work full time and they're trying to do school full time. And on top of that, if you're a music student, you have the whole practice aspect. So, these, and I'm not trying to downgrade anybody's major. My camera likes to stop in the middle of videos, I don't know, but it did give me a chance to get a little bit better lighting, and not that great, I'm sorry. But again, this is very spontaneous. I don't even have my tripod. I just literally have my camera just sitting on a ledge right now, hoping that it doesn't fall into the koi pond. Okay. Anyway, so I gotta remember what I was talking about. I think I was talking about technology and how much of a challenge. And then you have also just the little expenses. You got your books. And I'm pretty good at getting books online for free. I have the Scribd account, and I got a lot of stuff for free online. And the other thing is that I'm pretty vocal as far as complaining. So I complain, and then people, oh yeah, I have that book, do you want to buy it off me? I'm like, yeah. So I've done pretty well with that. The food gets very expensive as well. I mean, it's just you got a lot of stuff on campus to eat. I mean, God, it's great. You even have a vegan restaurant. But for instance, today, I'm a little on the broke side. So thank God my buddy told me about, if he's watching this, he's going to know who he is. Thank you so much. He told me about, at Chipotle, they got this deal where you can get a $3 burrito, it was $2.60 if you get 2 items. Keep that in mind. That helps a lot if you're really hungry and you can't afford plant power, and especially being vegan. They got that beautiful restaurant there, and I can't always afford it. When it first opened, I blew so much money there. It was terrible, and now I'm like, okay, I can't do that again next year. I don't even go near it. I walk the other way so that I don't spend a whole bunch of money. But yeah, everything is very expensive. It must be such a challenge for these kids and parents. I can't imagine. I mean, I'm struggling, and I work, and luckily I have the advantage that I do have somewhere to live. I don't have to worry about that. I have a car, I try to fix my car myself. That saves money, but gas gets very expensive. Traffic, I hate traffic. anyone that knows California, Southern California traffic just is a nightmare. And the only way you can avoid it is leaving earlier, and I hate the mornings, but you know, I left this morning, I left at 5:30, so I could get here, and like my class is until 9, and I got here around 7, no actually, yeah, around 7 I was able to do some homework and get some stuff done. So, so ideally, you want, it's especially like after school, you get that other challenge of the other rush traffic. So for instance, today, luckily I have a gig tonight, so I'm going to be like, I just stay around campus, did this video because it was such a nice day. Again, I can already tell the lighting's horrible, I'm sorry. Also, I will get better at this videoing thing soon, hopefully. And it's too bad that the lighting's so bad, because there's so many beautifully lit places, but my tripod, I don't have it because I wasn't expecting to do video. Okay, so that was just a little bit. I know I missed a lot of points here that I wanted to originally talk about when I first thought of this idea, but those are just some basic things like that. You know, it's a lot of money. If you're a parent, you can get a better perspective of your child's, what they're going through just by conversing and being one of the kids with the kids around you. So, I mean, that was, again, a unique opportunity that I didn't know I would get. And hopefully, if you're an adult and you're watching this and you're like going, oh God, I'm scared to go to school, I don't know what people are going to think, do what you need to do. Because here's the thing, no matter what, the time is going to pass. Time will pass. That's just going to happen. But would you rather be a year down the road and say, oh shoot, if I would have just done that SDSU application last year and got in there, I would maybe be in SDSU this year, or whatever school. And we say, oh man, you know, and then what's going to happen, there'll be a pattern, and you'll probably do the same thing again and then regret it the next year. Try to minimize your regrets. The only way you're going to minimize your regrets is by taking action now and remembering that. Because I didn't want to come back this year. I was so overwhelmed. I'm going to make another video about this, but I had a lot of bad crap happen. My second semester here at SDSU, my father passed away, and then my asthma got super bad. Like I said, that's for another video. I'm not going to go into details, but I still kept coming. It wasn't easy. It was very hard. I didn't get my perfect grades that I wanted, and that's another thing. As an adult, you gotta like accept certain other things. Like, you know, even though I've been doing music for a long time, these kids are incredibly talented, and they can play me under the table any day. A lot of them. That's okay. I'm not there for that. I'm not there, and you know, you also got to think of them. They're the young ones. You got to give them the opportunities. That's the way I see it. Anyways, I'm there for my paper. I'm there so I can get that paper and go teach music at schools. If they have a yearning for opportunity, then let them have it. Don't ever fight them. Don't ever compete against them. Because A, you're going to be fooling yourself most likely. And B, why? You've had life experiences. You know, let them have it. Because most likely, especially in the music world, if you are a musician in your 40s, you have gotten to some sort of level where you're either playing live, you're in the studio, or you have had a past of that. So again, you know, it's like the whole music industry is very competitive, and it's very dog eat dog, but there's enough jobs for everybody, really. I just hate that nature of the, you know, competitive thing. So, you know, I would suggest, especially if you're older, be mature. Don't compete with them. Just do your audition, do your thing, get in there, get your paper, get out. So, you know, hopefully I'll get out soon because it's been here a little too long. And yeah, so that's just like a little brief overview of what it's like to be a woman in the, well, I didn't even go into woman doing this, but that's beside the point. Excuse me, I'll have to edit that out. Being in your 40s and going back to school. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. The thing is that I was very lousy at not making weekly content that I wanted to do. But now that school started and everything's kind of getting back into the groove, I'm going to try to aim for every other week and see how I do with that. But at least I'll get something out this month. I have a lot of footage, but it's just a matter of time. I just got to footage is no good if you don't edit it and get it out there. So that's the thing. I got to do the other step, and the other step takes forever. So, and also with my crappy internet connection in the middle of nowhere in Fallbrook is horrible. So now I have my wonderful SDSU internet connection, so I'll be able to do more videos. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time in the next video.